Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Vibe with Precious. Hi guys, and today hope you guys are feeling very much good. Compliments of the season. I have a guest in the house,
Babit Vandora.
Yeah, so today we're going to be reacting to I don't see any logic why men are allowed to marry more than one woman. Ask Sister Lex Skinny. Sorry, I can't really pronounce that, guys. Let's see what this video has to show.
My name is Lakshmi. I'm a journalist. Now, the second question is, Muslim men are allowed to marry 4 or 5 times, I think, and they don't require their wife's permission, the first wife's permission to marry, correct me if I'm wrong, to marry more number of times. So I actually don't see any logic in this because I believe it's one man, one woman. That's the institution of marriage. So please clarify. Thank you.
Now coming to your second question. In Islam, men marry 4 times, 5 times, and they don't ask permission from the first wife. Why? As far as polygyny is concerned, a man having more than one wife, Islam is the only religion, and Quran is the only religious scripture on the face of the earth which says marry only one. There is no religious scripture besides the Quran. I'm a student of comparative religion, which says marry only one. There's no verse in the Bible, no verse in the Bhagavad Gita, no verse in the Veda which says marry only one except the Quran. If you read the Hindu scriptures in Ramayana, the father of Sri Ram, how many wives did he have? How many wives?
More than one?
More than one, 3 wives. Fine. Shri Krishna, according to Mahabharata, how many wives he had?
Unlimited.
Not unlimited. You don't know your scripture well.
No.
Did he have 4 wives? No.
I have no idea.
Not 4, not 100, not 1,000, 16,108 wives. How many wives he had? 16,108. So why can't we Muslims have 4? What's the problem? When Shri Krishna can have 16,108 wives, why can't we have 4? Further, if you read the Vishnu Purana, chapter number 24, verse number 1, it says a Brahmin can have up to 4 wives. If you read the Jewish scriptures, it gives you permission to have as many wives as you wish. If you read the Christian Bible, it gives you permission to have as many wives as you wish. If you read the Bible, Abraham had 3 wives. Solomon, how many wives he had? He had 700 wives. It is later on, the church has put a ban that Christians should marry only one, not the Bible. It is the Jewish community married more than one wife. It was in 1950 that chief rabbi passed a synod that Jews should marry only one. So it is the rabbi, not the Jewish scriptures. And according to Hindu scriptures, you can marry as many as you wish. It is the Indian government in 1954 passed a law called the Hindu Special Marriage Act. Hindu Special Marriage Act, which says Hindus should marry only one. It is not the religious scripture. It is not Bhagavad Gita. It is not Ramayana. It is not Mahabharata. It is not Veda. It is the Indian Penal Code. The Indian government, which has passed a law in 1954 that Hindus should marry only one. But according to the statistics of the status of the women in Islam, if you read the government documents on page number 66, 67, it says that Muslims do polygamous marriages. You know what is the percentage in India? 4.3%. How much? In India, 4.3% of the Muslim men do polygamous marriages. The statistics between 1951 to 1961. Hindus, how many? 5.06. 0.7% more than the Muslims in India. According to the Indian government, even though it is prohibited according to the Indian law, yet they do more polygamous marriages than the Muslims. Why? Now, let's analyze what does the Quran say. Quran says in Surah Nisa, chapter 4, verse number 3, marry women of your choice in 2s, 3s or 4s. But if you can't do justice, marry only one. This statement, marry only one, is only given in the Quran and no other religious scripture. It says, Marry a woman of your choice in twos, threes, or fours. But if you can't do justice, marry only one. So if you want to marry more than one woman, one of the criteria of the Quran is you should do justice. If you can't do justice, you should marry only one. Now, what are the reasons, logical reasons a person can think that why has Islam permitted certain men to have more than one wife? Many non-Muslims think it is fard, it is compulsory for a Muslim man to have more than one woman, to have more than one wife. It's not compulsory, it's optional. It's not fard, it's not compulsory. How many Muslim men do you know who have more than one wife? How many do you know, sister? How many do you know?
A few.
How many?
A few again.
Few means 1, 2, 3, how many?
Yeah, at least about 3.
About 3. Have you heard of Dharminder?
Yeah.
How many wives he has?
2.
Muslim or non-Muslim?
Non-Muslim.
Non-Muslim. Your previous chief minister, what's the name?
Jayalalitha.
Yes. Hindu or Muslim? Hindu or Muslim?
Hindu.
Hindu, fine. Now these are famous personalities. Fine. How many famous personalities you know in India who have got more than one wife? The 3 you know may be locality, fine?
Yeah.
Local, maybe friend in your neighborhood, maybe your colleague. In India, there are more non-Muslims having more than one wife than the Muslims. Now let us understand what are the logical reasons. Come back to logic now. Now, by nature, if you ask any medical doctor, he will tell you, male and female are born in equal proportion. Girls and boys are born in equal proportion. But any medical doctor, any pediatrician, any children doctor will tell you that the female sex, the female child is stronger than the male child. That's the reason there are more deaths in the male children as compared to female children. So in children's age itself, the female children are much more than the male children. As life goes on, there are people dying due to accidents, due to alcoholism, due to war. There are more males dying as compared to females. Today, if you analyze in the world, there are more females in the world as compared to males. There are few third world countries like India where the male population is more than the female population. And do you know why? The reason is because of female feticide and female infanticide. According to an article, a program which came on BBC by the name Let Her Die, the program was assignment. There was a British reporter by the name of Emily Buchanan. She comes to India and she says that every year in India, more than 1 million fetuses are being aborted after they identified that they're females. She says more than 3,000 every day. You multiply, more than 1 million every year. According to the Tamil Nadu government hospital report, she gives the statistics, out of 10 female born alive, do you know how many are put to death? 4. Sister, did you know that? Tamil Nadu, your state, your beloved state, according to the government statistics, out of 10 females born alive in the government hospital, 4 are put to death. There are billboards put in Rajasthan and here, which says that spend 500 rupees and save 500,000 rupees. You know what does it indicate? Spend 500 rupees, do ultrasonography, do amniocentesis, identify the child you're carrying is a female, abort her, and save 5 lakh rupees, 500,000 rupees. Maybe a couple of 100,000 upbringing her, and the remaining 100,000 in dowry. If you stop this evil practice in India, our beloved country, stop the female infanticide, stop the female feticide. Even in India, the population of female will be more than the male population. If you see the rest of the world, if you see New York alone, there are 1 million females more than males. In USA alone, there are 7.8 million females more than males. In UK alone, there are 4 million females more than males. In Germany alone, there are 5 million females more than males. In Russia alone, there are 9 million females more than males. And God alone knows how many millions of females are more than males throughout the world. Suppose I agree with your philosophy, sister, you said, 1 man, 1 woman. If I agree with you, sister, with your philosophy, 1 man, 1 woman. And suppose my sister happens to be in America. or your sister happens to live in America, and suppose the market is saturated. One man, one woman, saturated. Yet there will be 7.8 million females who will not find life partners. One man, one woman. Now the option for these 7.8 million females is either marry a man who already has a wife or become public property. You say, Dr. Zakir Naik, public property, such a harsh word. Sister, it is the most sophisticated word I can use. I cannot use a more sophisticated word than public property. According to the statistics of America, do you know, on an average, a man, before he settles down with a wife, he has 8 different sexual partners. Do you know that? On average, 8. Some may have 1, some may have 10, some may have 28 sexual partners before he settles down with one. So the only option remaining, so if my sister happens to live in America, or if your sister happens to live in America, and the option is given to her, and suppose the market is saturated, every man has found a woman for himself. And unfortunately, if my sister, or if your sister happens to be one of the women who has not found a life partner, the only option for them is either marry a man who already has a wife or become public property. Any modest woman would opt for the first. Sister, what would you opt for your sister? Marrying a man who already has a wife or become public property?
My sister's too young to be married. So
When she grows up and if she happens to go to America, or if you happen to be in America,
third choice.
what would you prefer for her? You're the elder sister. Would you prefer her becoming public property or marry a man who already has a wife and get equal rights? In Islam, if you have a second wife, you give equal rights. In America, the public property has got no rights. She's degraded. She's dishonored. In Islam, she has an equal right. She gets honor. What would you prefer for younger sister when she grows up? Sometimes it's difficult to speak the truth, sister, correct? Especially in front of such a large audience. Anyway, I've got your answer, sister.
Thank you.
And your silence speaks for that. So that's the reason in Islam, sister, men have been allowed to marry more than one wife is to protect the woman, not to degrade her. Regarding a question, is it compulsory that the husband should take the permission of the wife? It's not compulsory because if she wants to protect, if that man wants to protect another woman, a normal woman, I agree with you, sister, no woman under normal circumstances would like to share the husband. You have to agree. This is human nature. But if the woman is a good Muslimah, is a good Muslim woman, what she says, let a small loss take place to prevent a big loss. She will say, I know sharing my husband is a loss for me, but I would prefer letting a small loss take place for me to prevent my sister becoming public property. She's a good human being. So she would surely give permission to the husband to marry a second woman, if she's a good Muslim woman. But taking permission is not fard, it is preferable. But at least informing is a requirement so that he does justice between the two wives. Hope that answers the question, sister.
Thank you.
Honestly speaking, like, Ahmed that always, like, his videos always get me going in the sense that I always learn one or two things that even though sometimes he's not really, correct, 100% rather correct of what he's saying, but, I still feel like there's a sense in what he's saying. Like, this particular video, I totally agree with everything he was saying, apart from the fact that it was, like, it was only the Quran that is a religious book that says marry only one wife, because I don't really know the scriptures very much in the Bible, but I know that the Bible also condemns it, even though such is happening, you understand, because there's a verse in the Bible saying a man will leave his home and a woman will leave her home and they will join together as one. So it was not like two women, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, polygamy is not really like, I'm not saying it's a sin though, because obviously I have like extended families who are actually like extended cousins, like my lineage. I have a lot of people who are polygamous in their homes. You get what I mean? So like I've seen a lot of polygamous family. Most of them are surviving it out there, while most of them they are not surviving it. Actually, if you watch the movies, most time they make us believe that polygamy is no-go area. Why like 5% makes us understand that it's a go area, in the sense that you just see 5% of movies you watch and you see, oh, they're living peacefully and maybe they're trying to take care of this son or something, and then you see some women even force their husband to, you know, taking a second wife because of childbirth and the rest and everything. But the fact that
it's like that, I've not seen anyone that's
exactly like I don't really know, but I feel that what he said is right. Like, if you can't do justice to the two women, why would you make it second wife? And I feel, even though he said it's preferable, the right thing to do, because it's obviously the person you love, you're living the same roof with that person. At least the way he said it's preferable, you as a woman being with a conscience, you be like, oh honey, I'm bringing in someone in, like, I want to get married, I like this person, I like this person. And then if she disagrees, is at that point you're like, okay, you already made it clear to her and she doesn't want to understand.
Aside that, like he said, it's normal. Like, no lady will want to
as exactly to be shared.
Another, like, she won't share it. Like, she won't want that. And again, he said something. If you cannot bring justice to them, like, give them, don't go there. Like, he hits that point. That point is very, very important. If you are married and you're having problem, like you and your wife are always arguing, now think of you bringing another lady into the house. Can you handle both?
It's not even a matter of, sorry, it's not even a matter of the both of them. Like, can he handle the,
like, can he even financially, physically, emotionally, can
you have to be stable.
You have to be stable when you're done with one before you think of two. Like, you think, like, it's very, very hard to make that second decision. But once you have married second wife now, okay, to make the third, fourth, fifth,
it's going to be hard. Easier,
like, it might not be hard, but that second choice, like, do you think you can handle it? Like,
why is not even hard to even get the third and fourth one is because of, at least the first wife is already used to it, and second wife does not really have anything much to say, because I mean, she too, she came in when she met someone, so she doesn't even have a say, and the first wife is already used to. So the rest, they can marry 6 wives, 7 wives, but it is on men, they're not able to, you know, take even at least one of the child to school, and then you're just putting wives in the house.
They're not even responsible at all. Like, they're not responsible for the family, the kids, the wife. No, but they want to marry another wife. Like
you could see someone with 3 wives and is a drunkard. Like, what do you want in life?
Like, exactly, what's your ambition? Like, what do you like when your children grow up? Like, would they be able to say
that's literally not even saving the women? That's even like let's say you're destroying the women, because if you even leave that woman, it's better for a nicer man or a more responsible man to take in that woman as a second wife than you just trying to feel okay. You're trying to use the word because our mediator said they should try and save women, blah 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 blah, and you're just trying, you know, get married to as much women as you want, and then you're not even like taking care of them. You understand what I mean? Like,
it's not advisable for those that can't handle it. And if your wife is against it, I will tell you that if you bring the second wife into the house, it's like, you won't be able to handle it. It won't be easy. Like, it will be like, because she cannot watch a loved one being shared, like sharing her husband. Like, how does that sound? How does it feel? Like, I bet you, like, if your wife is not in support of it, and okay, you go ahead, this one, that one, it said in the Quran, it said in this, and then you bring in another wife, trust me, you won't be able to handle it.
You won't. So I just feel that you should, and also not just the wife, sometimes you need to even seek the advice of the elders. Not in the sense of if marrying a second wife is good, but seeking that, and if you are ready.
What is the reason for marrying a second wife?
No, you know, you see, he also said that, you see, it's better, like, it's actually protecting the females than being a public property.
Oh yeah, right now, okay, we're protecting the female being a public property. Okay, you want to protect them, you don't want, okay, you have nothing to do with them, you just marry them, they should just carry your name. How does that sound?
No, actually, it's not like you are marrying someone that you are not in love with, or like, don't really misunderstand me. Like, okay, I met you, I like you, and then I say, okay, fine, I can't have you because of I have a wife, and because of one man, one woman. But because what he's trying to say is, if you can do justice to both women, marrying 2s and 3s, as far as you love the person and the person loves you back, do you understand? Okay, fine, let's get married. It's just like protecting her, instead of it to just, you know, try to fade the love away and just let it go, and she ends up not seeing someone like is going to get married to her. No, we're not really saying that every woman that is not married to a man with a wife is not going to see a man. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's in the sense that men are more, like, in population, men are very, very much lesser than women. You get what I'm saying? So obviously there are women out there who stayed all their life single and died that same way.
Continue this topic, because it's not like, okay, now you're married.
Yeah.
Okay, you're married to me. Like, why are you outside talking to another lady?
Yeah, it feels like cheating though, but
exactly.
I don't really know. I can't really
like cheating. I'm okay, really fine, I'm married. Okay, you're a man. Okay, my husband. Then you out there talking to another lady. Like, why you married to me? Like, what's your intention? When you married me, do you tell me that you want to marry more than 1 or 2 wives?
That's why he said a normal woman will not want to share her husband, because it's not even just feeling right to the person. But he said a Muslim woman is going to say, at least it's better I take a bit loss than like a bigger loss. Like, you guys understand what I'm saying?
I understand that point.
Yeah, so I just feel that let's just see it in the good way of it. Let's not really see the bad way, because I know a lot of people are taking advantage of this marrying 2s and 3s. A lot. When I mean a lot.
Because they'll marry the second wife, then they'll abandon the first wife.
And
they won't care.
Like they won't care. They won't show love.
Exactly.
They won't take care of their kids.
They won't do nothing. They'll just be focused on the second wife.
We don't even need to even go far saying polygamy. Like even just normal husband and wife. What are like some of the fathers are abandoning their wives and their children.
Exactly.
And even the other way around too. Some women abandon their husbands and their kids. Like they make them, you know, walk away their strength and everything. Like some women are actually toxic though, and it drives me crazy, because I'm like, damn, you're the one that actually carried these children for 9 months. You should have this mother feel, like, you understand, there's this connection between mothers and their kids, even though both female or male, even though they say
but
daughters
at the same time,
are
when you
their
see
fathers
mothers
and the rest.
that actually act that way, those some have been through a lot.
And let's not even be judgmental. Even most men that act that way too, we can also say they've been through a lot. Let's not really, you know, try to give one person credit and give the other person
like they've
bad.
Been through a lot.
That's what I'm saying, because you see, women, you see, it's not really need to be an argument. If a man is acting a certain way, he has his reasons, even though both reasonable or unreasonable. But the women, do you understand? Anything they are doing to both reasonable and unreasonable, whenever they have anything to say, a woman can be toxic for no reason. A man can get married to a woman who drinks a lot, who acts strange, who strips in clubs and stuff like that. I'm not really trying to condemn any acts here. And then let's say when you got to marry, take it that okay, she's going to tame things down. As a normal person, you know, okay, fine. If you're supposed to strip from morning to night, as a mother right now, you will make it okay, 9 hours when your children are asleep, you go to strip. Just the same thing as, let's say, a nurse. We are going to work during the day, and like maybe like you just know how you take and arrange yourself and everything. But you know, at that point you got married and feel that, oh, you've gotten to the top of the world, and then you know you abandon your husband, abandon your kids, you can go away for a week and come back, and like you show less interest. Like you're not showing interest to your family, like, that kind of thing. The man doesn't even, you see, even some men are actually very much responsible. They wouldn't even be thinking of second wife, but just be wondering how they're going to try and patch up their home. You understand what I'm saying? So like both the women, both the female, everybody can do act strange in marriages. That one is there. But when it comes to first marrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 husbands or wives, it's mostly the male that always wants to have more wives. When it comes to female having more than one husband, it's really, really rare, except maybe she had something to do with this and then do the, oh, she's a baby mama. You understand? Like she's a baby mama to this person, this person, this person. It's quite different. You understand what I'm saying? I really enjoyed this video. He's a really, really smart man. He's wise, he's intelligent, and educated. He knows a lot. He knows a lot, and I feel he really needs to come out and, you know, speak on, because he has a lot to, you know, tell the world and explain to the world about, and rather advise the world. So we've come to the end of today's reaction. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Love you guys so much. Bye.